Here are 12 obscure R&B and soul bands from 1971 you need to hear, because the Soul Train had more cars than most remember. Number 12, Cross My Heart by Billy Harner. The blue-eyed soul stomper from Camden, New Jersey. In 1971, Billy Harner was a regional sensation tearing up the East Coast club circuit. Signed to Kama Sutra Records, his raw voice and high-energy delivery earned him the nickname The Human Percolator. Cross My Heart wasn't a chart topper, but it was a floor filler. A funky gospel-tinged number with enough backbeat to power a whole set. What's wild? Harner played nearly every instrument himself on the track, a rarity at the time. That DIY fire gave it grit that polished Motown couldn't match. You can practically feel the wooden dance floor beneath your feet, the sweat in the air, the crowd clapping on the 2 and 4. While Harner never broke through nationally, Cross My Heart lives on in rare soul circles. And Northern Soul Nights in the UK. A one-man band with a heart full of rhythm. If this was Northern grit, wait till you hear the Southern gospel soul heat coming next. Number 11, Hearsay by the Soul Children.
Ever since we've been together, you've been bugging me about another one.
4 voices, one sermon of truth. Produced by Isaac Hayes and David Porter for Stax Records, the Soul Children were formed to fill the void after Sam and Dave left the label.
Tired of being accused, I'm gonna make it through, honey.
And in 1971, they dropped Hearsay, a fiery rebuttal to gossip and fake friends. The group's mix of 2 male and 2 female vocalists gave them range, richness, and drama. Studio legend says the track was recorded in just 2 takes. The anger was real, the harmonies tight, and the organ, preacher level.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You never see me do nothing wrong.
You hear it, and suddenly you're back in a hot southern juke joint. Sticky floors, fried catfish in the air, bodies swaying in time. Though they never reached superstardom, the Soul Children carved out a respected niche, and Hearsay became a cult favorite for soul purists.
You gonna have faith in me, you know? I'm the man, but you're not that friend.
From sermons to seduction, this next act brought sensuality with a psychedelic twist. Number 10, Let Me Down Easy by Inez Foxx.
But right now, a gal, not only beautiful but talented, and her brother. I'm talking about Inez Foxx.
The sister of soul, flying solo with Velvet Pain. Most remember Inez Foxx as half of the duo Inez and Charlie Foxx, best known for Mockingbird. But in 1971, she stepped into the spotlight solo with Let Me Down Easy. This wasn't your average heartbreak ballad. It was drenched in soulful resignation, set against swirling strings in a slow funk rhythm section.
Oh, let me down easy.
Recording at Volt Records, she was given full freedom, and she used it to create one of the year's most emotionally devastating slow jams. You can almost see the record spinning in a low-lit apartment, someone in bell-bottoms and heartbreak, dancing alone in the kitchen.
I'm calling you back.
Though never a chart hit, it remains a deep-cut classic for crate diggers and late-night DJs. From solo sorrow to cosmic groove, our next band took soul music to outer space. Number 9, Wichita Lineman, cover by Black Heat.
Brothers and sisters, if you will, would you join me in welcoming for the first time on Soul, Black Heat?
Jazz funk fusion with a soul center. Black Heat formed in Washington, D.C., blending R&B jazz and psychedelic funk. In 1971, they released a mind-bending cover of Wichita Lineman. transforming Glenn Campbell's country ballad into a funky slow burner. Produced by Joel Dorn and featuring tight horn sections, the track veers between groove and atmosphere. Legend has it, they recorded their parts in a single smoky session, inspired by the Curtis Mayfield method of tracking everything live. It's a sonic trip, like Sly Stone met Gil Scott-Heron at midnight with a Moog keyboard. They never hit major commercial success, but their sound would influence later acid jazz and hip-hop samplers. Next up, a band so mysterious we're still trying to figure out who was even in it. Number 8, The Bottle by Brother to Brother.
Now for Brother to Brother saying this thing some kind of wonderful on the soul train. It's called In the Bottle.
A social cry from the underground. Brother to Brother came out of New Jersey with streetwise soul and jazz-inflected activism. The Bottle was their answer to the chaos of the early 70s, Vietnam, poverty, addiction. Released on Turbo Records in '71, it echoed Gil Scott-Heron's themes, but delivered with more radio-ready polish. Few realized that the saxophone solo was by future jazz-funk legend David Sanborn. His first recording credit. You can almost feel the fire escapes, the late-night arguments, the sound of a city trying to stay hopeful. Brother to Brother would remain in the shadows, but their messages were anything but quiet. And if that was political funk, wait till you hear the band that turned heartbreak into high art. Number 7, I'm Gonna Get You by the Webbs. Revenge never sounded this smooth. The Webbs, an Alabama-based group, were virtually unknown outside the Deep South. But I'm Gonna Get You from 1971 is a masterclass in slow burn revenge soul. Released on the Tiny House of Orange label, it featured ominous horns, hushed drums, and a falsetto lead that threatened more than it pleaded. The track was banned by some southern stations for its lyrical content. It was too real, too raw. Imagine a hot summer night, windows open, this track drifting from a front porch radio. A warning, wrapped in velvet. Though never widely distributed, copies of this 45 now fetch hundreds from collectors. That one whispered revenge. This next one, a cry of pure joy. If these forgotten soul treasures are hitting the right notes, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. It helps us keep the spirit of real R&B alive. And we've got 6 more hidden classics that'll make you wonder how they ever stayed obscure. Number 6, Groovy People by The Natural 4.
Natural 4. Can this be real?
The smooth Oakland harmony machine. Oakland's The Natural 4 had been grinding in the local scene for years before finally catching a break in '71 with Groovy People.
This Mayfield's Curtom label, 4 young men who we feel are a safe bet for superstardom. From the Bay Area of Northern California, let's get some hands together, gang, for The Natural 4.
While not a chart smash, it was a regional favorite. A laid-back anthem of togetherness that captured the West Coast soul vibe. Produced by Fred Pittman, it featured tight harmonies, mellow guitar lines, and lyrics about unity that felt like the antidote to the chaos of the time.
Everything else can run out.
They were often compared to The Moments or early Earth, Wind & Fire, soulful, precise, and full of heart. This was cookout music, roller rink music, backyard boogie music. And they're still sampled today by underground hip-hop producers looking for that feel. And if that was Sunshine Soul, get ready for one of the darkest grooves of the decade. Number 5, Smiling Faces Sometimes by the Undisputed Truth. The warning shot with a psych soul twist. Formed by Motown genius Norman Whitfield, the Undisputed Truth were created to experiment. And in 1971, Smiling Faces Sometimes became their haunting calling card.
Smiling faces show no trace.
With layered vocals and eerie echo effects, it was a psychedelic soul track with teeth, warning listeners not to trust appearances. The chorus is catchy, but chilling, and that's what made it revolutionary.
Smiling faces, smiling faces.
Studio lore says Whitfield made them sing it dozens of times to get that unnerving blend of harmony and suspicion. You hear this track and instantly picture lava lamps, incense, and a little paranoia in the air. Though they'd later fade, this single still turns heads and samples. From suspicion to seduction.
I'll fool ya. Take my advice, I'm only.
This next group laid down one of the smoothest grooves you've never heard. Number 4, You're Gonna Make Me Cry by O.V. Wright.
You gonna break my heart.
The Preacher of Pain returns. O.V. Wright was never a household name, but in soul circles, he was royalty. And in 1971, he re-recorded You're Gonna Make Me Cry with even more hurt in his voice. Backed by the Memphis Horns and produced by Willie Mitchell, it was a masterclass in restraint and ache. His voice? Like Sunday Morning Sorrow, pure gospel soul. It's said that Al Green used to study his phrasing word for word. You listen to this, and suddenly everything slows down. The tears, the rain, the heartbreak. This track remains a staple for deep soul fans, and OV's influence lives in everyone from Otis to D'Angelo. From Preacher's Pain to pure dance floor power, next, we boogie. Number 3, I Wanna Testify by Hot Chocolate. Before the UK hits, there was this firecracker. Before You Sexy Thing, Hot Chocolate was just another band trying to break out of London's soul underground.
I believe in miracles.
I Wanna Testify was their 1971 cover of the Parliament's hit, but with a twist. They fused Caribbean rhythms, Motown horns, and London swagger into a sound that was totally unique. The track never charted in the US but became a quiet storm classic on late-night R&B radio. And yes, those vocals, that's Errol Brown, pre-fame, giving it everything. You hear this, and you're back in the roller disco, heart racing, soul flying. Now if that was early Fusion Fire, our runner-up is Pure Grit and Grind. Number 2, a sad, sad song by The Notations.
Your love don't resist me.
Chi-Town Heartbreak, raw and real. Hailing from Chicago's South Side, The Notations never had big label backing, but their harmonies could stop traffic. A sad, sad song came out in '71 on Tad Records, a track about loneliness so potent, it felt like it was written just for you.
I'm so glad that I still see.
What's incredible? The vocals were recorded in a single take after the lead singer found out his girlfriend had left him, minutes before session time. You feel every crack, every cry, every hope that maybe she'll come back. While they had minor hits later, nothing captured their soul quite like this.
So hey baby, you're right here to hold.
But trust me, nothing will prepare you for what's coming at number 1. Number 1, Ain't That Lovin' You for More Reasons Than One by the Falcons. The originators of soul, still burning in '71. The Falcons had already launched legends, Wilson Pickett, Eddie Floyd. But in 1971, a reformed version of the group released this absolute stunner on Big Wheel Records. It was old school grit with new school polish. a torch song soaked in southern rain and unspoken pain. They recorded it in Detroit, with Muscle Shoals players backing them up. A North meets South masterpiece. This was the sound of the originators reminding the world we never left. It didn't chart, but in soul collector circles, it's holy. From deep harmonies to heart-clutching lyrics. This is why we dig deep. This is why soul never dies. From church basements to after-hours clubs, these bands remind us that 1971 wasn't just Marvin and Aretha. It was a movement of voices you may never have heard, but will never forget. Thanks for joining us on this soul stroll. Subscribe to keep the groove alive and never miss our next ride into the forgotten corners of R&B. Up next, the underground soul of 1972. Click it, and let's keep the rhythm rolling.